Hello.
Hello. Right, hello everybody from the normal campervan channel, and hello anybody who's found this video searching for cycling stuff. We're about to navigate all the way around Kielder Water. It's a distance of around 26 miles from our start point on the campsite that we're stopping at, and hopefully we'll finish up at this point as well in a couple of hours. We're just going to take our time and amble along, and we'll show you some stuff along the way. Come along if you want. Okay, off we go then. So we're going to pick up the route along the reservoir, just from our campsite, as we've said, along here. And anything that we see along the way, we'll point out, and we'll go from there. Enjoy the ride. You can do the route either direction, clockwise, anti-clockwise. We're going anti-clockwise today. We did do a little bit of the route yesterday in a clockwise direction. We just rode to the castle yesterday. But today we're hoping to do the whole circuit in an anti-clockwise direction, so the water should be on our left-hand side all the time. The route isn't flat all the way, which you think it might be going alongside water. There are some quite challenging hills, and also it's quite windy like this, so it does equate to around 26 miles by the time we've done a full circle. But we're in no rush. We're just going to pootle along as per normal. Reservoir is quite low as we're filming this. It's the first weekend of September and we've had a lovely hot summer. Sadly, looks like that's the end of that now. There is quite a little chill in the air this morning, but we're hopeful it's going to stay dry. We're following Lakeside Way, South Shore. As I said, cycle route 10. There is a fair bit enclosed like this. I'm not really sure, what we're going to show you other than a bit of riding and a bit of the reservoir. There are a few visitor centres along the way and random stuff like that, which I've no idea what that is. Some sort of hide maybe, I don't know. So yeah, we'll just see how we go. First signpost there said Tower No, 6.5 miles. That is one of the visitor centres. And for those interested, you can actually camp out in the car park of a couple of the visitor centres. Has gone up though to £15 a night from 9 PM to 9 AM. And if you then add on the charge of £6.50 from 9 AM to 9 PM, it becomes £21.50 for 24 hours, which is why we're now on a campsite for £19.50. A little bit of info for anybody who's watching via searching for a cycling video. The two bikes that we're on are Engui L20s. I'm on the standard L20, which I think is now discontinued in the UK. And Heather is on the L20 Boost. They're fat tyre e-bikes. They are UK legal. And we've just modified them slightly by taking off a bit of weight, taking off the carriers on the back, and I took the front one off mine as well. And yeah, we do quite enjoy these cycling trips on the bikes. Very enjoyable. Should you be interested, I'll put the links in the description below to Engui's site, including our affiliate link, and you do get a substantial discount if you buy through that, should you want to. So as you can see, some of the track is actually old asphalt road. Obviously the reservoir is man-made. It's the biggest man-made lake in the UK, and there are obviously a lot of old ghost roads, as we'll call them, where this used to be a habitated area before it was flooded. So some of the track is like shale and some of it's tarmac like this. It's all pretty good, apart from as I said earlier, it's not always as flat as you think it might be when you're riding alongside water. Is it, boss?
No.
And this is what we're saying, as you deviate away from the water, there are some quite decent climbs. Although it's not as exciting for me as an old railway line, I do like riding on railway lines. Part of the ride does encompass a bit of what's left of the old railway. Very much later on in the ride, we will go over a viaduct that used to carry the railway, and you can see why the route does take 26-mile round trip. You do deviate away from the water a bit, so it's a lovely, pleasant ride though. Just perhaps not as exciting views-wise as some of the ones we've done before, but we do like to document them, so hope you're enjoying it. So point to note, as Heather is the map reader, there are certain parts that you can cut out to make the ride a little bit shorter. We've just come down there. We could have cut the peninsula out completely and come that way, but we are continuing down there. We're just doing the full longest ride that you can do, as I said, around 26 miles. Right, so there is a lovely view of the reservoir. We've got about 3 miles till we get to Tower No. Right, Pop, are you ready? So just pointing out there, you can see some of the signs. Top one says alternative route, which is the above track there. That just cuts out this peninsula, but we are going for the full length. There are quite a few hairpins like this on the way round. And with all the pine needles that are dropping, it can be quite slippy. So just a point to remember, if you're riding one-handed with a dog on the basket, probably best to put the camera away, hey?
Bit tricky. Come on.
Lakeside Way, South Shore, Kielder Dam, 3.5 miles, Tower No, Visitors Centre, 2 3/4 miles, Hawk Hope Car Park, 4.5 miles.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Let's do this. Well, it looks like we've got a bit of an uphill. We're obviously on the other side now, so all that you can see at the far side of the water, we've cycled across that already. Beautiful, isn't it? What's not to love? Are you enjoying it so far? Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not seeing that many people today, the odd cyclist and the odd person walking, but it's very, very quiet. Saturday as well. I did think we'd see a bit more traffic, but quite happy that it's quiet, to be honest. Half a mile now to Tower No, where we'll have a bit of a pit stop. Currently on 7.5 miles in. So we're just coming up to Tower No now. And a few years ago, we stopped here in the van. There is a car parking area that you can stay overnight. There are your toilets, and there's a shop and everything you need to buy your tickets. Right, so we're just leaving Tower No. Next stop is Kielder Dam, and we've stopped there as well in the van a few years ago, and we have actually cycled this little part of the track from when we stopped at Tower No. We did cycle along here to the dam. At the time, I didn't have an electric bike and Heather had a very, very old basic one. So we weren't cycling far. And there you can see the dam just in the distance. We are actually going to cycle across the top of that. Right, so we are now approaching Kielder Dam, which is obviously the extremity of the water this way.
I'm loving this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been about 3.5 years since we cycled across here, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think you forget how beautiful the views are on the other side of the dam.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly a huge expanse of water when you get to cross it. This is the car park at the dam, and we've stopped here before as well. About where that big white motorhome is actually. And again, there are toilets here overnight as well. We're going through here and we're picking up the track up there. We have done a little bit of this section before as well. Again, I didn't have an electric bike and Heather's was a really old second-hand one. So we didn't go far. Plus, around the time we did it, there had been a recent storm and a lot of the track was closed through trees that had fallen on it. Finding it a lot busier this side of the reservoir, certainly from the car park onwards. I guess more people are going to go a walk from there than the random place we started from. The heather is out now this time of year. All this purple looks lovely. So 10 miles to the castle, which is where we rode to yesterday when we just went out for a little potter about. were just saying, when we cycled here last time, where them barriers are actually, probably the same barriers.
Oh yeah.
This was closed and we tried to cycle up there, but with a bike with no battery and a really old second-hand electric bike and two really unfit adults.
We're no fitter now, we're obviously 3.5 years older.
We are, but we've got better bikes. So from here on in is new ground. So we've just stopped along the track, saw this sign that says Vantage Point, and you can see it's a fairly steep incline down, and indeed from up there. Now I did say earlier on that we were going to go over the viaduct where the railway used to be, and it does actually show you this track here was there. This picture was taken from here about 90 years ago. Obviously that depends on when this was stuck up, which is a daft thing. They should put the date really. This steep slope is part of the railway incline built to carry coal trolleys. Much of the line and the station and the sidings are now lost beneath the reservoir. But we will be going over this viaduct later. I'm just going to have a walk down there while we have a moment and see what we can see. Now I guess normally when the reservoir is up, most of this is underwater, but it is a slipway I guess. We're basically looking for somewhere to stop and have some lunch. We brought a packed lunch with us. So yeah, that's why we keep stopping and seeing if there's suitable benches. Not really sure I can show you through the trees. There's a bit of a slipway there off the dam. So we've stopped for a bit of lunch now. Nothing spectacular, we've just got a roll each and a little sausage roll. Lunch stop is over. I can just hopefully get down here and try and show you that little bit of a weir that I did see as I was riding along. Don't want to be too adventurous, mind. There's all different infills and stuff on the reservoir. That's just one I happened to see as we were riding along. Still a while to go. Okay, so after a brief lunch stop, we're back on our way. The next point of interest, I think, is going to be the old viaduct that used to carry the railway. And we filmed a bit of that yesterday, just in case we came back a different way, because you can ride under the viaduct or over it, but we are going to go over it. And then you're not far from the castle, but we don't need to go past the castle on this ride. However, I will insert a bit of footage of the castle for you, should you want to deviate and have a look for yourself. So via the viaduct is this way. Okay, so this part of the track is an old railway line. In case you didn't know, this is Kielder Viaduct. Just going to stop at this sign and see what it says. Yeah, shut in 1958, so. I've got some photos of the viaduct from underneath, which I'll insert. We aren't going to ride under the viaduct. You can go back two different ways, and we're going to go back the way that we went yesterday. So you can clearly see at the moment this is an old railway embankment, but as soon as we get to the end here, virtually all signs of the railway disappear again. Any train noises? Under the viaduct there is a wind-up audio device, I guess, where you can play old sounds and stuff. I'll just insert a bit of footage from yesterday when Heather was playing around with that.
Oh yeah, we're getting up some steam now.
Virtually the end now, it gets cut away and we're going to turn right here. I said right, I mean left. If we carried on straight down there, it would take us under the viaduct in a big loop, but we're actually going to go this way. And like I say, I will now insert a bit of footage from the castle, which you could have got to from the viaduct, but we're heading straight back this way, continuing on the circular. This must be Kielder Castle then. Looks like they've got the builders in. Yeah, and it's shut till 2026. We've got about 4 miles left now, I think, till we get back to the start. Finally got clear view of the water again. You have to keep your eyes open for the signs. Some of them are quite faded. But as we've said, you're following Lakeside Way.
You're going on that one, are you?
No, just to point out that all the way along there are some other trails for very experienced mountain bikers. They're not for us.
There's one that's a black trail.
Yeah, there are some really bad ones. There are some really bad ones. This is Patterson's Paws, not to be confused with Poppy's Paws that are in there. And you can see how low the reservoir is from here. We're just waiting for a few people to clear the bridge. Then I'll go down and film myself going over the bridge and hopefully film Heather. Yeah. Just coming up to a little car parking area. This is called Matthews's Lynn. Just got some toilets and stuff. Don't think you can stop here overnight though. So just like the start of the ride, we're now back on some old tarmac from when this would have been a road years ago, before they flooded the reservoir. We're only about 2 miles away now from the end. See one of the old signs there from when this was a little A road, I guess. We did actually follow this all the way down to the waterside yesterday, and the tarmac just disappears into the water. So what would have been a little minor road in the 1970s, you can just about see the ghosts of the white lines in the middle of the road there, look. But yeah, just goes to nowhere now. A little part of it becomes the ride, and then we branch off to the right in a minute to pick up the track again. Thanks very much. Cheers, thank you. Right, so this part is where the road splits off. So here's your original old A road, and that takes you down. Keep going there and you're in the drink, but we're going to go off here and carry on. You can just see the road there. That part would normally be underwater. And there, in the distance, is the welcome site of where we started this morning. About a mile away now. You see the sailing over there. And then the campsite's just dead ahead now. I don't think you can see the display, but 26.5 miles. Not going to lie, a bit knackered by the end of that. But anyway, that is the whole circular of Lakeside View done, all around Kielder Water.
Yep.
We've took about 4.5 hours, I think.
It'll be 5 hours. It's 4 hours 40 minutes.
But we had a stop for dinner.
Yeah.
So about 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Obviously we've deviated a bit. We've gone back on ourselves to do filming of us riding the bikes past, etc, etc. But I think you allow 3.5 hours and you'll be okay. Lovely ride, but definitely more challenging than you think.
Definitely.
Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you on the next cycling video. Bye for now.
Bye.